Hello, YouTube. It is I, Lisa, again, back for round 2 of accountability day 1. Now, as I mentioned before in my last video, I'm going to try and do more videos of my meal prep and cooking. As you can see, I just got back from the gym a little while ago. I had to do the mommy thing and bathe and put my son to bed. And now I'm ready to make my meal for the evening. I get a lot of my recipes online. I do create some of my own, and if they are Lisa originals, I will tell you. But I like to get the two sites that I like to use the most are Skinny Taste and The World According to Eggface. The World According to Eggface has, I think, some really amazing breakfast recipes like quiches and souffles and things like that that are really protein packed and low carb and just really good and delicious. And then I like to use Skinny Taste for a lot of my afternoon or evening meals. They have some breakfast on there too, but I really like The World According to Eggface for breakfast and Skinny Taste for lunch and dinner. So the recipe that we're making tonight is totally a Skinny Taste recipe. It is their Zesty Lime Shrimp and Avocado Salad. And I do have a tablet that I normally use in the kitchen, but I do also like to write my recipes down because I don't really, as you can see, have a lot of prep space, and with a 5-year-old, sometimes half my counter is taken up with 5-year-old stuff. So I like to write my recipes down, and then I just put them on this little cork board that I've created right next to my prep space, so you can see I have all my stuff here. I do always clean my prep space first, so I've already wiped it down with the 409 and cleaned it off. And since I haven't mastered the art of making a video, pausing it, like cutting it all together, doing all that stuff, I just did all the prep first, and then I'm just going to go over the recipe with you guys. You can look it up. Again, it's a Skinny Taste, and it's their Zesty Lime Shrimp and Avocado Salad. Delicious. So this one is a 1/4 cup of chopped red onion, the juice of 2 limes. I use 3 because it kind of cuts down. Ooh, that glare is horrible. It kind of cuts down on some of the bitterness of the onions. 1 teaspoon of olive oil. A little bit of salt. You're going to salt and pepper to taste, so it says 1/4 teaspoon, but really whatever you want. A pound of jumbo shrimp. Make sure you either cook it, devein it, and peel it yourself, or that you purchase it prepackaged when it's cooked, deveined, and peeled, so that this way you don't really have a lot of work. I bought mine with the tail on and then just took them off. And then 1 medium tomato. You're going to dice that so you can see, where's my tomato? I've got that diced right here. And then, and the shrimp, you want to chop it. So you can see I've got mine chopped into like little bite-sized pieces. Delicious. And then a tablespoon of fresh cilantro. So I literally went and bought mine tonight fresh and chopped it fresh. And then a jalapeno, totally optional if you don't do spicy. I don't do spicy. But if you are going to use the jalapeno, make sure you seed it and then you chop it very fine, almost mince it like garlic. So what you're going to do is you're going to chop up your onion. You're going to almost mince it. You want to chop it very fine. And then you're going to put it in a bowl with the juice of the limes and the olive oil. And that's the first thing you're going to do, and you're going to do that in a small bowl. And then you're going to let that sit there while you prep the rest of your meal, because the lime juice kind of cooks the onions a little bit. It's not like a heat cook. It's like a acid cook, but it's a good acid because it's citric acid. And then while that's kind of cooking, you want to prep the rest of your food. So you want to chop your shrimp. You want to dice your avocado. You want to dice your tomato. And you want to combine it all in, and you want to dice your cilantro or chop your cilantro. And you want to put it all in a bowl like so. There's avocado at the bottom, and then there's my tomato, so I'm just gonna kind of one-handed put that in there. Now the recipe says to save the cilantro for last. Sometimes I follow directions well, sometimes not so much. So my cilantro is already in the bowl, so then you're just gonna mix it up pretty well. Now if you're making this for a party or something where you're not going to serve it right away, you definitely want to make sure that you save the avocados and the tomatoes for last, because the avocados will brown and the tomatoes will kind of get mushy. I'm not going to eat all of this right now, obviously, because teeny tiny tummies. But I am going to take the rest of it for lunch tomorrow, and I don't care about brown avocados because it's just cosmetic. So I'm just going to mix it all up now because it's delicious, and I'm excited, and I'm starving. I told my 5-year-old that if he didn't hurry up and go to bed, Mommy was going to get hangry. We all know what hangry means, especially as a sleever. It means every 2 hours, if you don't stuff something small in your face, you get mean. All right, so I've got that mixed up pretty well, as you can see. It might work better if I just kind of did that. See? Pretty. And then I'm just going to take my olive oil and onion and lime juice mix and just toss that right over the top. And then I'm going to have to put you down for a second right there. There we go. And I'm just going to some fresh sea salt, kosher sea salt, and some pepper. Now again, it's going to be salt and pepper to taste, so you're going to have to taste it. But you're going to eat it anyway, so. So you're just going to mix all of this up until it's just kind of combined and it looks delicious. Now, you can totally do this kind of a ceviche style with the shrimp raw. In that case, you're going to want to use the citric acid and put the shrimp in with the citric acid and make sure that you let it cook long enough to where it's not going to be harmful. I would definitely recommend, if you've never made ceviche before, definitely recommend looking up a recipe and following it to a T. So I'm just going to taste this and see if it's salted enough. I think it needs a little more salt. And then just keep in mind, with the cooked shrimp, the limes will kind of cook them a little bit more. So they might be a little, if you're going to save this for the next day, they might be a little more pink the next day. Okay. Taste that. Good stuff. So come into the light and I will show you our creation. That is delicious. The best part about this is that it's about, I want to say, if I remember off the top of my head, somewhere around 180 to 200 calories for a 1/4 cup serving, which is really not bad. But the best part is that it's only roughly 4 grams of carbs, 21 grams of protein. So, and obviously, as you can see, it's all fresh vegetables, shrimp, so very low fat as well. I think the fattiest thing in there is going to be the olive oil. And honestly, I used extra virgin olive oil, so really not that fatty. So this is my meal for tonight and my lunch for tomorrow. The good thing about making meals that are larger than you're going to eat, especially if you're like me and it's just you that's eating it, is that you have your meals for the next day and you can make sure that you're not eating on the fly. So what I'll do in the morning is I'm going to package, after I eat, I'll put this in a container for lunch tomorrow. And then I'll also get my eggs situated for the morning, grab a couple of cheese sticks, and that will be my food for tomorrow, as well as my 2 liters of water. So that's today's meal. Tomorrow I'm going to do a baked white fish with peppers. It's loaded with vegetables. It's peppers and onions, and it's so delicious. Makes me happy in my heart. So tomorrow I'll do a video of the baked white fish, and stay tuned because as soon as I plug my laptop in after I finish eating, because you know I have priorities, fat kids gotta eat, I will post the link to the recipe and give Skinny Taste their dues. Until tomorrow.